If you don't say what you think, then you kill your unborn self. And if you think tough men are dangerous, wait until you see what weak men are capable of. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. If you're not willing to be a fool, you cannot become a master. You're going to pay a price for every bloody thing you do and everything you don't do. You don't get to choose not to pay a price. You get to choose which poison you're going to take. That's it. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it. If you cannot understand why someone is doing something, look at the consequences of their actions, whatever they might be, and then infer the motivations from their consequences. You can only find out what you actually believe, rather than what you think you believe, by watching how you act. You simply don't know what you believed before that. You are too complex to understand yourself. So, attend carefully to your posture. Quit drooping and hunching around. Speak your mind. Put your desires forward, as if you had not a right to them, at least the same right to others. Walk tall and gaze forthrightly ahead. Encourage the serotonin to flow plentifully through the neural pathways desperate for its calming influence. The truth is something that burns. It burns off dead wood, and people don't like having dead wood burnt off, often because they're 95% dead wood. There is no point in betraying your future self to gratify your present self. It's a stupid game. I don't tell people, you're okay the way you are. That's not the right story. The right story is, you're way less than what you could be. It's in responsibility that most people find the meaning that sustains them through life. It's not in happiness. It's not in impulsive pleasure. If you fulfill your obligations every day, you don't need to worry about the future. It is better to do something badly than not to do it at all. It's harsh that the rewards of life are indiscriminately distributed. It's hard on everyone, but it doesn't help to become bitter. A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control. Face the demands of life voluntarily. Respond to a challenge instead of bracing for catastrophe. The things that terrify you contain things of value. We become stronger by voluntarily facing what impedes our necessary progress. The successful among us sacrifice. The successful among us delay gratification. The successful among us bargain with the future. You learn through voluntary contact with that frightens or disgusts you. Treat yourself like you're someone you care about. You have to be willing to be a fool to advance. The thing about the fool is close to the truth, and you cannot learn anything unless you're willing to be a fool. You're important to other people as much as to yourself. What's the price to pay for a high standard of living? Well, that's easy. You virtually sacrifice the present for the future. If you want to become invaluable in a workplace in any community, just do the useful things that no one is doing. Random wandering does not move you forward. When you have something to say, silence is a lie. People don't really repress the things they do not want to face. They just fail to unpack them. Your life becomes meaningful in precise proportions to the depths of responsibility you're willing to shoulder. Can you imagine yourself in 10 years if instead of avoiding the things you know you should do, you actually did them every single day? Perhaps happiness is always to be found in the journey uphill and not in the fleeting sense of satisfaction awaiting at the next peak. There is some utility in gratitude. It's also good protection against the dangers of victimhood and resentment. Work as hard as you possibly can on one thing and see what happens. There is no quick pathway from smart to wise. Face your fears voluntarily. That's the cure. You're always looking for no because you can only say yes to a limited number of things. The best we have may not always work, but it's still the best we have, and the fact that it might not work doesn't mean we should throw it away. It's still the best we have.